yeah, that's right. It is time. I am here. You are at the place that you need to be. This is Spitface. I'm here with the voice lady of sports talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. We got CJ out of Chi-Town and the Goddess Kelli, the diva of sports debate. Oh, yeah, we got them. The ladies is looking great today. They fired up. They rested. They done had a couple of weeks where they could just enjoy sports without having to, do a bunch of work and everything. But we got them back. We had to reel them on back in and stuff. And let me tell you something. When they fine. They're doing some fine women. I'm gonna tell you something. You need to try to. You see them, slip a little note with your card, so they ain't gonna call you, but at least you can, throw it out there, see what you can do. Now, check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring music from Breeze. When she find her shining star, get the cold feel of the mute button. We will find out. It is time for the old school giggle. I wonder what they done came up with us for us today. Let's check it out.
You are my sunshine on a cloudy day.
I don't think that is the old school giggle. So give me 1 second so that we can get that corrected. Sometimes these darn production assistants, of course, when you don't pay them anything, it kind of, can go that way. And, all right, now we can get you the old school giggle. Y'all folks got that giggle queued up, because I did that was not a laugh. Okay, they ready.
Do you watch the Bill Cosby Show? I do too. I love Bill Cosby Show. I've been a big fan of Bill Cosby all my life. Never met the man before, but he called me up about a year ago and chastised me on the phone for being too dirty on stage, and it was real weird because I had never met him, and he just thought he should call me up because he was Bill and tell me that he did about what comedy is all about. And I sat and listened to this man chastise me, and when Bill Cosby chastises you, you forget you grown. You feel like one of the Cosby kids and shit. I ran in the house all excited to talk to Bill and picked up the telephone, and Bill got raw on me. I was like, hello, Mr. Cosby? And you hear, I would like to talk to you about some of the things that you do in your show.
All right. That was a little snippet of a giggle from, I dare say, who laughing at who today, but we ain't going to go into that. All right, First Lady, we're ready for What You Saying.
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Or they try to tell us something, so we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle and let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the world champion Chicago Cubs wish they could fly far, far away from a sub-500 record. Players who came up big during the playoffs are being sent to the minors. Say what? Many predicted the Cubs would repeat, or at the very least, be the team to beat. It looks like their opponents have decided to do the beating. Can the lovable Cubbies right the ship and bring back-to-back wins to the Windy City? If the Cubs fail to make the National League playoffs, will their championship be a fluke? Carly Strife, Rashima Sinha, Katie Beauchamp, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Oh, my goodness, yes, the Cubs, they definitely have not been the same team as last year. However, they are showing some signs recently of getting back to the old team because they had won 6 games in a row until I think they were defeated last night, which broke the streak. Now, the problem with this team is basically one thing. It's their pitching. The pitching staff is not doing what they did last year. They had a fantastic ERA last year. I think they were like under 3.00. Now their ERA is what, 4.09? I mean, they ranked ninth. They used to be ranked number one last year. So, I mean, this pitching is just giving up too many runs in the beginning of the games. I mean, by the time the bats get rolling, they've already been down 2 and 3 runs. So, I mean, this is some of the problems. So the offense really has to compensate for the way the pitching is coming along this year. And Jake Arrieta, I mean, he's definitely not the same player he was last year. And he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. And unfortunately, John Lackey, he's 39 years old. I mean, he's too old now. So there's a possibility that they won't even have these two players on their team next year. So really, Theo Epstein, as the manager, as the general manager, president of the Cubs, he needs to really do something now to make sure that the Cubs could at least get into the playoffs. They're only one game behind Milwaukee Brewers for their division. And so they're still in it. There's definitely a chance that they could definitely make it. I mean, their offense will need to outplay the pitching because, again, like I said, I don't know if these pitchers can turn it around. But Theo, he needs to get another starter in there that can assist and help out. And if they don't win it, if they don't make it to the playoffs, I don't consider last year never to be a fluke. I mean, this team was the best team all of last year. They were the best team from the beginning to the end of the season. And when they won the World Series, I mean, this team, give me a break. There's no way it could be a fluke. And they don't have to worry about waiting another 108 years to win another World Series because that curse is forever gone. And, CJ, I know you're from Chicago, but I'm going to tell you, your Cubs, they may not be playing well this year. They still have a shot, but they're never going to be like they were before. So what do you think about this, CJ? All right. Well, I'm going to move on to Goddess Kelli. Give me your opinion, Goddess Kelli.
Well, I don't know if we're having some technical difficulties or if Goddess Kelli accidentally hit the mute button. But,
okay. You hear me? I thought I was here alone. I was like, what the heck is going on here?
You are fine. You are fine. I don't know. It looks like it might have been some technology problems with Goddess Kelli and CJ, but we will find out what is going on. But First Lady, I'm looking at the situation and with the Cubs, and I'm going now. I grew up in Chicago. Ernie Banks, Ron Santo, all them good old boys and stuff, and I know that they were smiling and and just happy to see that a franchise that they put everything into was able to do the thing. So, I am just totally, happy for them there. Now, the thing that I see and something that I've mentioned before is that baseball is the hardest sport to repeat. It is the most challenging, sport to repeat in. And because it is truly a team sport, you can have great hitting, and then your pitching fall off. You can have great pitching, your hitters don't come through. It can just, and that's not a matter of that they can't play the game or all of a sudden injuries happen. And unlike in like football, basketball, injuries can happen, and it don't have to be the big name star. It can be, role players on the team who, that piece ain't there. It just don't flow. And But I have looked at the situation with the Cubbies, and I'm going that they are still built, maybe not to repeat, but to be legitimately in the hunt for a few years. And yes, the curse is gone. I went ahead and had me a belly goat sandwich. So the curse is gone. I don't even like belly goat. I said, look, I got to eat some belly goat, throw some barbecue sauce on, do a couple of pickles and onions. It wasn't too bad, a little stringy for me, but hey, so the curse is gone. Now, let's check in and see if we got Goddess Kelli. We got you back yet, or are you still having a bit of technical difficulty there? All right, I'm not sure. I have a feeling that the big boys was doing something here with the technology, but First Lady, I guess we're going to have to roll on. Let's just see what's going on here. All right, I'm going to knock you out. Mama say knock you out. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Anika Sorenstan, Mildred Babe, Saharis, or Kathy Whitmore. We are talking about the knockout punch. Venus Williams is about to lay on Father Time. Venus is up there. Big Sis almost won Wimbledon, where she would have been the oldest female athlete to win. Were the whispers correct? Baby, you only get better with time. What would winning another Grand Slam do for her legacy? Would it make her equal with Little Sis? The one who happens to be the greatest American athlete of this generation and happens to be pregnant and got knocked up by that. Is pregnant. Okay. Now, you are involved in a tragic accident through no fault of yours, and someone dies. You're diagnosed with a crippling disease. You're playing at the top of your game. Are we staring at one of the most courageous sports stories in history? Jemima Kidd, Star Jones, remember her, and Pam Oliver, salute, are asking what you saying. Goddess First Lady, I think we is. I think that we, the story was already, fabulous. Growing up, in Compton, having, playing on concrete courts, public places, not having, being in that cycle, had daddy, drilling them every day, in the hood, and bam, bust out in the tennis world and take it by storm and looking cute in the little tennis outfits and stuff. I know I was recklessly eyeballing them, but, hey, it just kind of go like that, big-legged so-and-so. But, and then, winning, and then, here it is for Venus, it's like still competitive, highly competitive, and not for Little Sis, because a couple of those, Little Sis beat her, but if she is able to pull off a few more wins, especially at her age, while Little Sis is on the bench, burning in the oven. It's already a fantastic story. And then, like I said, she has that just broken up with the accident. But I think we are looking at a story of one of the most courageous athletes in sports history, male, female, right up there with I can't say Jackie Robinson breaking the color line. Can't go that far, but up there, up there. Goddess Kelli, what you saying?
But when it comes to Venus, we have always absolutely adored her. And although she is never going to surpass Serena when it comes to greatness in tennis, Serena is always going to be the #1 female tennis athlete of our generation. You can argue that maybe Margaret McCourt could have been a little bit better than Serena way back in the day, but now Serena has got that legacy of the greatest of all time in female tennis players. But that being said, Venus was so adored before Serena came out, and she has been so brave. She's battled those issues with the accident, with her health, and then to come back and to do that, it is an amazing story, and I absolutely love that she is still doing so well, and it's great that she can carry the torch of the Williams sisters while Serena is out giving birth to her little baby. I'm not entirely sure when she's due. I was actually really surprised that she went and got pregnant. I didn't think that she would sacrifice her tennis career when she's been such at the top of her game, breaking the majors records and everything. I thought that she would want to keep playing a few more years before she became a mommy and did the whole family thing. I mean, speaking as a career woman myself, I think some things are a little bit more important than getting yourself knocked up. But hey, you know what? Whatever makes you happy, that's cool. But I mean, Venus, if she can go out there and continue to play at this high level, especially at her age, I think that it is a beautiful story, and I absolutely love it. I wish her the best. She's never going to be better than Serena, but definitely more courageous and more of a Cinderella because of all the things that she has had to overcome that Serena did not have to overcome. So Venus, we've been pulling for you since the very beginning, and we're still pulling for you. So you go out and you do your thing.
All right, that we heard that, but the final word on this will go to the First Lady. But Venus, I'll send you my card. First Lady.
Well, Goddess Kelli, I definitely agree with you. I mean, even if Venus wins another Grand Slam at her age, I still do not think she will ever equal Serena, because, Serena is far more accomplished player than Venus is. But, it would add to her legacy if she does win another Grand Slam at her age. And, she played really well at Wimbledon. She was outstanding. But, with all of the tragedies that she had to deal with and fighting Father Time, I mean, it was just obvious by the time she got to the final match, Venus was already mentally and physically drained for that final match. She had given it all she could give, and it just didn't work out well for her. But her story is definitely courageous, one of the most courageous stories in sports. Like you said, I don't know if I put it with the, like you said, Spitface, Jackie Robinson. There's some other courageous things that happen in sports. I remember Willis Reed coming back to help the Knicks win a championship with a bad knee. There's always the Brian Piccolo story. How can we forget Brian's song? So there's a lot of sports courageous stories out there, and Venus definitely will be put in that category. And you want to know something? I have to admit, I had counted Venus out many a time. And you know that, Spitface. I said she needed to retire so many years ago, and she has proved me wrong and proved others wrong. So I just believe that if she can continue to be competitive, I'm just so happy that she's still out on the circuit, and I wish her nothing but the best. And I'm not going to ever count Miss Venus Williams out again, because she is truly a superstar.
And being someone who thought that she should have eased out before she had the drop, Venus, hey, go girl, First Lady, take us to break.
The first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out why the ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLshop.com and Interstate Batteries. Now, the hint is they put the ball in the hole. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Reeves on the first part of Shout Out. Go, Venus.
That was a good hint.
They put the ball in the hole. Okay. Hard to say which hole. Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
Goddess Kelli, what happened to ya?
My computer froze. Like all of a sudden froze, and then it had to restart itself. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
I thought I was on an island by myself. I was like, what is going on? I had to go look at my phone and see if something was wrong with my phone.
What
CJ
happened to
dropped
CJ?
off too?
Oh, really? I got like an error message, and then all of a sudden my computer just went out, and I was all like, oh my God, what just happened?
Okay. Spitface, what happened to CJ? Okay,
And CJ dropped off, but we are, there is some technical difficulties. It looks like we're not able to stop. So, all right, let's go ahead. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Breeze.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today, we are featuring artists from Breeze. And we're going to hear one of their songs, and it's called Good Loving. All right, DJ, play that tune.
Sometimes we travel light, sometimes we can't abide, for destination seems a long way from home, but that is alright, 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 when you get to love somebody. Alright, alright, someone's gonna show you love someday. I'll give a lesson for you. I wanna know, I wanna have a good love. Good loving. I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. I wanna know, I wanna have a good love. I wanna have for you and me, you and me to have a good love. I wanna know, I wanna have a good love. I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. I wanna know, I wanna have a good love. It's for you and me. We got to have it. Spending our lifetime trying to get ahead of life. Working so hard, building castles to but our pride. Hey, but don't you forget, we got to live for today. Let's go down and see what you've been missing. Alright, when you get to love somebody, be so nice to love somebody. It's alright, someone's gonna show you love someday. You know that love can turn it around. I wanna know, I wanna have good love. I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. I wanna touch the thing. I wanna know, I wanna have good love. For you and me, you have good love. I wanna touch, I wanna feel good love. I wanna know, I wanna have good love. And for you, hey, we got to have it. Let's do it like good day, rum da 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 da. Good day, rum da 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 da. And see what that is.
Okay, well, that's Breeze with Good Loving. All right, let's go to our panel and see what they think about the song Good Loving. Goddess Kelli, you shouting it out or are you going to hit the mute button?
Yeah, is that track over? Because, yeah, I did hit the mute button. That thing was so incredibly boring. It sounded like a mix of bad 80s pop, elevator music with a little bit of, like, I don't know if that was, like, Latin beat without any spice. I don't know, but I couldn't stand it. I'm ready for a nap after that one.
Okay, all right. Tell me how you really feel, Goddess Kelli. All right, let me go to Spitface. Spitface, are you going to be a little bit more appreciative of the group Breeze? Are you going to give them a shout out or are you going to hit the mute button?
I thought it was a nice little mellow cut that you could kick back, have a little cup of coffee and a roll too, and look at the and look at a scenic view. I'm giving it a shout outie.
I want to shout it out too. I don't know what Goddess Kelli was listening to. I mean, yes, they did have an attempt. It did have a little Latin flavor. Now, of course, it wasn't like a real good salsa song in there, But I just like the combination of the different types of beat in there. That I really thought I liked the track. But I don't know what was wrong with it. I'm definitely going to shout it out. I'm shouting it out. And we have Miss CJ with us, or Miss CJ still having technical problems?
It looks like she's having some technical issues. We tried to line her up, but we can't get her voice going at the moment.
That track put her to sleep. That's what it is.
God, it's Kelly said a track put her to sleep. Anyway, we're going to hear more from Breeze on part 2 of Shout Out. But now, I think I hear the sound of my favorite underwater friend. Is it time for Flip It? Oh, yes, it is.
And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder, flying there under the sea.
All right, y'all, it's time for Flip It, where our hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The word on the court is the mellow fellow, known as Carmelo Anthony, is willing to go to the Rockets. No matter what team you go to when you are leaving the train wreck known as the Knicks, you made a good move. Defend. James Harden just needs a touch of Melo to upend the Warriors. Melo would be great on the Rockets. Now, First Lady Goddess, I have looked at this and I'm going, Melo would be perfect. Because James Harden is going to score, and you know Melo going to score too. So when they start discombobulating Harden with a whole bunch of defense, you know who's going to get the ball, the Melo fellow. And you know what the Melo fellow going to do, go to the hoop. And that's going to be, and that's all they need. The Rockets made themselves a three-point shooting team that could compete with the Warriors. But they need that guy that if they clamp down, on the bearded one who can step up to the plate. Melo the man. Plus, they can ready to sell the Rockets, make a bunch of money. So, hey, everybody going to be cash flow. It's time to move on that train. Melo would be great on the Rockets. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Well, I have said all along that Melo is so much better than what we saw from him on the New York Knicks. That team, like you said, is a complete and utter train wreck. James Dolan, worst owner in the history of basketball. All this stuff with Phil Jackson, blah, 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 blah. We've said all along Melo needs to get the hell out. Now, the Rockets, that's a really interesting choice because I have always said that Melo needs to play with a superstar. Now, being a Cavaliers fan, I said he should go play with LeBron, but hey, you know what? James Harden, MVP candidate, amazing player, and he just needed a little bit more help to bring his team out of the West and get to the finals. They were just one piece away from really competing with the Warriors, and I think Melo could definitely be that piece. And going to play with somebody like James Harden, Melo, you know what? He's getting a little old. He's still got that baby face, but he's getting a little bit up there, so he needs somebody to help take the pressure off him, and James Harden is the perfect person to do that. I think that is a match made in heaven. That is going to be the kind of matchup that's like LeBron James and D. Wade matchup worthy. I think that could definitely give the Rockets that final piece they need to be more competitive, go after the San Antonio Spurs, go after the Golden State Warriors, and bring that team to the limelight. And I think somebody like Melo could really up James Harden's game. And maybe next season, if Russell Westbrook doesn't do his triple-double thing, maybe he can bring home that MVP trophy with a little help from the Melo fellow.
The Melo fellow, First Lady, the fan.
But James Harden, he couldn't beat the Spurs by himself. He looked like an overused point guard at that point in time. So now he has Chris Paul to help him with the ball handling duties. Now, unfortunately, Chris Paul is not enough to beat the Warriors. They need Carmelo Anthony. He is their answer. He's a better option than power forward Ryan Anderson was. I mean, Melo doesn't have to be that first option, which makes him more powerful being option number 2 or option number 3. You know, Melo can become that stretch 4 who can shoot the three-pointer, who can shoot and do the pick-and-pop player. That's Melo's style. Melo doesn't have to do iso ball, you know. Melo didn't want to play with D'Antonio's up-tempo ball when little known Jeremy Lin was at point, but now he's much more suited for this style of play with 2 superstars. We talk about Chris Paul and James Harden. How can you compare those two to Jeremy Lin? So Melo will definitely, he's going to get along with D'Antonio. He's going to play that style. You know, he was already in the gym. They showed videos of him running up and down in New York City late at night in a hoodie, trying to build up his stamina so he can get ready to play that ball that he needs to play, which is an up-tempo style, and you got 2 superstar guards. So, I mean, there's no reason why Houston should be right there with the Rockets because, Houston should be right there with the Warriors because you have Carmelo Anthony, and he is so motivated to win a championship. Houston, we definitely have a lift-off.
All right, you heard the defense from the goddess and from the First Lady, but you know we gotta flip the script, and we're flipping it. Houston, I got some news, and news for Melo. This is not Green Acres. City Life is the place for you, and the place is the Lakers in L.A. Now, you know, a lot of talk about Melo going to the Rockets, how good a fit it would be, how much it would work out. It all on paper, it looks good. But I'll put it like this. Melo don't have the same ego as Chris Paul. And what I mean by that is Chris Paul ain't got no ego, but Melo do. And you talking about bringing Carmelo in, who, hey, you know what? I want to show that I'm still a superstar, or you know, I still want to show that I can be the man. And you want to bring me into a situation with a guy who is, the bearded one got a lot of ego stuck in that beard. I think he needs to shave a little bit, get some of that ego up off of him. But I don't see it working out where he gonna be the number 2, number 3. Now number 2 he might, but number 3, no, it ain't gonna work out. When you got, you know who you got, that man with that smile. You know, he ain't throwing no voodoo hoodoo on you like a certain Phil Jackson, but he got the man with the Midas touch, because you know everything he touched turned to gold because he is magic. So hey, Mello, you need to get a touch of magic in your life, because magic gonna make sure that you get featured the right way, and you're going to get some playoffs. You're going to be in the playoffs sooner than most folks think. You're going to be there, but Goddess defend.
Let's be real for a second, because that's what Goddess Kelli does. I keep it real. The LA Lakers have been just crap the past few years. Now they're starting to reinvent themselves. They got Magic at the helm out there. They got, young wonder kid Lonzo Ball out there now. They are starting to make some moves. They lost something with the retirement of Kobe Bryant. So there is a black mamba-sized hole sitting there in LA right now. Who better to fill that role than Carmelo Anthony? Let's think about it. This kid came out, he was a super baller when he was young, and he has just gotten better with age. He fell off with the Knicks, and that wasn't his fault. He was not showcased the way that he deserved to be. That's something that Magic can give him. There's a reason why they call the man Magic, because everything he touches just becomes wonderful. And Carmelo Anthony, this is your chance to go to the epitome of basketball. Think about it. LA, La La Land, that is the city when it comes to basketball. You ask people out there, you know what? What's the most iconic city in basketball? What's the most iconic team in basketball? They're all going to say the LA Lakers. Melo, like I said before, he's getting a little bit older. He's a veteran now. He is that guy that has got all this wisdom on the game that he can impart to this young team. He can take Lonzo Ball under his wing. Now, let's talk about Lonzo for a second. That kid has got more daddy issues than the Shimmy Shake girls do, okay? That guy needs an older veteran role model in his life because he doesn't know how to make his own decisions. So, Melo, this is your chance to showcase that you still got a lot of ball left in your tank, that you can go out there and continue to be the superstar that everyone knows you are, and you can help shape this young kid, get him away from his daddy, become that sort of surrogate father figure for him that he needs. This is your chance to shine and to make a difference. So Melo, get yourself to LA.
Mellow fellow, First Lady, the fan.
We have seen this play before. Now in a new venue. Come on. Carmelo Anthony couldn't play with D'Antonio when they were in New York, and it's not going to work in Houston. Carmelo plays iso ball, and he doesn't know how to play another style, surely not an up-tempo style. I mean, come on. Melo needs to be the fellow in L.A. Even though the team is young, he could be the focal point of their offense. Magic is an old-school player, so let's face it, Magic would not have any problems with Melo's playing style of iso ball. Melo just needs to cool it. He needs to be a cool fellow, and he should be able to help the Lakers become a better team. But more importantly, the key thing for Melo joining the Lakers now is he can wait 1 year later, and his boy, and I mean his bro, LeBron James, will be there. And if Kyrie Irving doesn't want to play with LeBron, trust me, Carmelo damn sure wants to play with him. So Melo and LeBron together next year will compete with the Warriors, and they'll have a chance to win a championship. Again, another one for LeBron, but it will be Carmelo's first championship. He just needs to stay cool and be that cool fellow and wait for his bro, LeBron, to come.
Uh-huh. The inside game. This is more fascinating than listening to Donald Trump. All right, First Lady, take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
All right. Now, yeah, listeners, y'all should be happy today because since we can't pause during the recording because of technical difficulties, we're going to just roll on into our next segment. So welcome back. Guess what? You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sport. It is time for the funnies. So I'm going to roll with it. First Lady, I think we have something interesting for you and the goddess. And CJ, because CJ's on. We just ain't got her voice waking properly. Okay? I think y'all going to find this interesting. Kids don't, the police, kids don't need drug paraphernalia for chemistry class. The Arizona police tweeted an unusual warning to parents shopping for back-to-school supplies. Pieces of drug paraphernalia are not required for chemistry class. The Gilbert Police Department tweeted a photo showing items of drug paraphernalia, including marijuana pipes, bongs, and glass crack pipes. If your kid tells you they need any of these items for chemistry class, they are lying. Hashtag back to school shopping, hashtag don't think so, hashtag Thursday Thoughts, the tweet read. The tweet quickly went viral on the microblogging site, earning lauds from other police departments. Parents, I'm going to tell y'all something now. If your kid tell you he need a crack pipe for the chemistry class, you need to have a little conversation.
These kids are getting creative. Good for them.
You need to have a conversation, because if your kid is telling you that, now I want to know. I want to speak to the parents who went and bought it. That's who I want to speak to. Now, may I speak with the parents who actually bought the drug paraphernalia so that their kids could take it in the chemistry class, especially the bomb. Now, that's the one. Now, some stuff you might be able to get away with. But, the bong, I don't know about that one now. All right. Guys, there and water is splashing on you. It must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It. And I thought we would never, ever, ever have another Tim Tebow story. Sort of like Tigger Woods, out of mind, and please stay out of sight until you do something. But Tebow is on fire in the minors with 6 home runs, 33 ribbies. Panel defend. Tim Tebow will not be called up by the Mets no matter how well he plays, simply because of his age. Goddess, defend. He's too old to make it up to the majors now at this point. Defend.
I mean, it's true. Tim Tebow, he just needs to fade away already. It is a good thing that he is so in with the man upstairs, being like, Mr. Christian Tim Tebow, doing his little T-bowing, doing his little godly praying thing, because he doesn't have a chance in hell of going up to the majors. He's old, he's washed up, he's playing in the minors. These are guys that aren't good enough to be in the majors, just like he himself. The only reason he is there is because of his name and that little bit of fame that he got for himself. This kid is just proven that you can be a jack of all trades, playing multiple sports, but you are a master of none. So Tim Tebow, just go away already. I am sick of talking about you.
We thought we would not have to have one. First Lady defends.
Oh, boy, I agree with you, Goddess Kelli. America just cannot stop talking about Tim Tebow. I mean, boy, this Tebow effect is mesmerizing. But Tim Tebow will never be called up because he is not a professional league player. I don't care even if he was old, young. he is not a professional league player, just the way he was not a good quarterback. And I don't care if he's hitting 3-2-1 now. I don't care if he's hitting good in the minor leagues. The Mets GM already admitted that signing Tim Tebow was for entertainment purposes only. So him hitting single-A pitching is not the same as hitting professional league pitching. I mean, let's face it, Tim Tebow is fulfilling a dream. So let him dream on, because as a major league fan that I am, I do not need to be part of Tim Tebow's dream and have it come to fruition and him playing in the major leagues. Let's forget about Tim Tebow, America. Forget about him. Time for him to move on. Go back up to the football analysis.
All right. You heard the defense, but you know we got to flip the script. And so first thing, are you saying make America forget again? When it comes to Tebow, make America, we're gonna make America forget again. and you notice, Tigger Woods has a T. Tim Tebow got a T. The two T's. I don't know. All right, panel defend. Given the way the Mets season is going, they will definitely call him up if he keeps playing this way. Now, when you look at the Mets, well, personally, I ain't going to look at the Mets. Not the way they play. As bad as the Mets play, I ain't looking at them. So given that nobody wants to look at the Mets, given how bad they playing, why not call them up? You know, because the name of the game, as the GM and the owners have said, is entertainment and cash. Tim Tebow, love him, hate him, whatever, he gonna make money. He gonna make money for whoever working with him. Now he ain't got no Magic Johnson touch, because you know, hey, he just ain't got that. But he got a little divine love that allows him to, you know, attract, you know, those circles where the cash be rolling. So I'm going, hey, Mets, you ain't got nothing happening with your season. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't winning no World Series because you ain't making no playoffs. You might as well make some money. Because people will come to see Tim Tebow strike out. They'll come to see him maybe hit. You know, there is just something about Tim Tebow. And now, personally, I think you need to go back to the booth, you know. But, hey, I go, brother, you know, you got to fulfill some big dreams. Be a QB in the NFL and didn't have the talent. A Major League Baseball team brought you in, didn't have the talent. But you got a good smile. I like you. Goddess, defend. Bring him on up.
You and I, we are on the same wavelength on this one. Let's be honest. The Mets are doing nothing this season. They are just utter crapola. But people forget sometimes, sports is a business. The name of the game is making money for your team, making money for your city, and bringing in those fans. And that is something that Tim Tebow will always be able to do. Now, you know what? I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. We haven't really gotten to football season yet, but we signed Tim Tebow a little while ago, and he was our third-string quarterback. Third string. Didn't even make the team after preseason. But you know what? After we signed him, he had the #1 jersey sales. And I'm not talking about #1 jersey sales on the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm talking about #1 jersey sales in the NFL. He was selling more jerseys with his name on it, with the little Eagles logo, than any other starting quarterback in the league. Now, that's the kind of money that the Mets can gain if they bring him on up. Like I said, their season not going anywhere. So why not give the fans what they want and a little bit of that godly, divine Tim Tebow loving?
All right. right. I think Goddess Kelli been hanging out with them Shimmy Shake girls because the Shimmy Shake girls wanted to send you a note, Goddess Kelli. They said they don't have daddy issues. And they don't have that. They said they have some daddies who have some issues.
They didn't let that one slip by, did they?
Because they are the Shimmy Shake girls. First lady to see it. First lady to see it.
Well, I think all three of us are definitely on the same page because the Mets are going nowhere fast. And since Tebow was signed to entertain for entertaining purpose, then let him entertain us in the majors. He should be able to come in and like you said, Goddess Kelli, he makes money. I mean, what do the Mets have to lose? They're not going anywhere. And anyway, you bring up players in September. That's what they normally do. If you're not going anywhere, you bring up all the minor league players that you want to showcase. So bring Tim Tebow up, make some extra money, because you know when he comes up, he's going to sell out the ballpark. So really, what do the Mets have to lose? I mean, they're not competing for a pennant. I mean, they're so far behind it doesn't even make sense. And Tebow, if he is playing well, you know, give the people what they want. They want to see a Tebow sighting in a major league park, being the Mets. So, hey, there's nothing to lose. To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if you created the circus when you signed Tim Tebow to a minor league contract. So let's have the circus full circle. Especially since the Ringling Brothers are no longer performing, have the Ringling Brothers perform with Tim Tebow in Met Stadium.
First Lady, you know what? Now you're going to have Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus upset with us. And the reason they're going to be upset is that if they would have thunk about having Tim Tebow in the circus, you know, jumping through one of them flaming hoops, they could have kept going.
Could have kept on going.
They could have let the animals go and let Tim Tebow jump through the. See, first they're gonna be upset. You could have saved their business.
Well, he's gold, like Goddess Kelli said. Everything he does, it's gold. So anyway.
All right. Hey, you know. All right, First Lady, take us to the break we won't be able to have.
Okay, well, let's go to the break that we won't be able to have. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Breeze on Shout Out.
All right. For the break that we weren't able to have because of technology, you are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out Part 2 and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the First Lady and the crew. First Lady, over to you.
We have another performance from Breeze, and this time we're going to hear Gravity. A DJ played that song.
about facing up a side into the gravity. So go ahead and get yourself out of your head now. Sometimes you gotta let it go to let it flow into the gravity. Just wanna be in touch with my spiritual side into the gravity. And I'm walking by faith and up a side into the gravity. So go ahead and get yourself out of your head now. Sometimes you gotta let it go to let it flow. Prince of Peace, I thank you for staying in life. It's about taking a chance. Tomorrow, where do we stand? There is no looking back when you make up your mind. Go on with the stride. This world is just so cold. The future story unfolds. Let's make up new reality. No matter where I choose to go, it always brings me back to the place. And it reminds me I'm not alone. Into the gravity, wanna be in the spiritual side. Into the gravity, I'm walking by faith and up a side. Into the gravity, so go ahead and get yourself out of your head now. Sometimes you gotta let it go to let it flow. Into the gravity, wanna be in touch with my spiritual side. Into the gravity, and I'm walking by faith and up a side. Into the gravity, so go ahead and get yourself out of your head now. Sometimes you gotta let it go to let it flow. I know there's so much more to it than just living in the Lord. I feel this gravity is pulling me from the center to the sky. I know there's so much more to it than just living in the Lord. I feel this gravity is pulling me from the center to the sky. I know there's so much more to it than just living in the Lord. I feel this gravity. I know there's so much more.
Okay, that was Gravity. So we got to see if this song is going to get the shout out or is it going to get the mute button. So let's go back to the panel. Spitface, what did you think of Gravity?
I thought it was a cool little cut, and again, she's kind of in that kickback zone, where you just kick back, have a couple of, sip on one of them little drinks with the little umbrellas in it, and just kind of enjoy life. I'm shouting it out.
You shouting it out. All right, let's go to Goddess Kelli. Are you going to release the unmute button on this
Goddess
song?
Kelli, a.k.a. Simon.
All right. After hearing that song, I'm going to call my mom up and I'm going to tell her that she needs to take me back to school shopping for chemistry class because that song makes me want to hit the gravity bomb. But you know what? I'm going to give that one a shout out. That had like a good, chill, mellow beat to it. I liked what she did. I loved the opening instrumental a lot, and I thought that song showcased her voice a lot better. I probably would have liked it more if I was high, but I'll give it a shout out anyway.
Well,
all right.
You got Goddess Kelli. Just tell your mom it's for chemistry class.
Of course. My mom grew up in the 70s. I mean, she might catch on to me a little bit, but I think I could convince her.
All right. So Goddess Kelli said she's going to shout it out, even though she threw some shade at them. But anyway, we'll take what we could get from Goddess Kelli. That's Breeze. That's a compliment. Okay. Well, I'm definitely shouting it out because I like the song. It's again that they have that mellow beat. Yes, her voice was showcased much better in this cut than it was the first one, but I still thought both of them were great. And I think Breeze, they got a little cachet that they can hopefully expand their horizons in the music business. Got to check them out. So anyway, that's the end of Shatta. If you like what you heard from Breeze, you can check her out at oldgrumpyradio.com. If you like what you heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. Well, it's time to send it over to Goddess Kelli for some jambalaya. All right, what you got cooking, Goddess Kelli?
Well, I have got a special mix for our panel today. I'm going to read you guys a quote, and then I will ask the panel to say how the quote relates to someone or situation. Before I criticize a man, I like to walk a mile in his shoes. That way, when I do criticize him, I'm a mile away, and I have his shoes. So, you guys, how does this quote relate to the media shitstorm that was Money Mayweather versus Conor McGregor in their upcoming fight? First Lady, what you got to say?
Well, this is what I think about this quote and how it relates to the upcoming Mayweather-McGregor fight. McGregor, he has never fought a boxing match before, so he has the nerve to think that he can beat Mayweather, who is undefeated. Now, he will walk in Floyd's shoes, and he will find out that he will be miles away from defeating Floyd Mayweather. And he will have an experience of knowing how he was beaten by Mayweather, because McGregor will be left with Floyd's shoes up his ass.
You know what? I am going to absolutely agree with you, First Lady. And first of all, Conor McGregor couldn't even afford Money Mayweather's shoes. He couldn't even afford to rent them because that guy is nothing. He's gotten into this fight as a money grab because he knows that he's going to make more in this one fight than he's been able to make in the UFC for his entire career. He's going to get knocked out, but he's going to be laughing all the way to the bank. Maybe then he'll be able to afford something that didn't come from Payless. And Money Mayweather, I gotta hand it to him. He's handling this like a professional. He, got a little bit riled with some of the stuff that was being said to him, but he still handled it well, and he is gonna show McGregor in that ring that it doesn't matter how much you run your mouth, you can't run your fists. So Spitface, what you got to say?
I'm looking at that quote, and I look at it from a couple of different angles. Now, the first one is that I'm looking at Money Mayweather, and he criticized the man, took his shoes, walked away, and he's going to criticize him some more after he beat that butt. The other part is that I also look at it as he taking the Money Mayweather's taking the shoes from all those people who are going to waste their money on that fight. So, and while he criticizing McGregor as he beating that butt. Now, I do wonder, I am curious to see, Money Mayweather is a smart cookie. And, there's always the money you make from the first fight, but if you play it right, it's the money you make on the second fight. And if there's some kind of way Money Mayweather can make this fight look interesting enough so that there's a rematch. Because if it ain't a rematch, he done took the fans' money and he done took McGregor's shoes. Of course, he threw the shoes back because he don't want McGregor's shoes. Like I said, he ain't getting, damn, pay less, As a matter of fact, Mayweather is actually going to give him some shoes with all that money that McGregor going to make that he never would have made in MMF.
All right, well, it's time for the outrageous predictions of the week. So let's go to the panel. Goddess Kelli, what is your outrageous prediction this week?
All right, as everybody knows, O.J. Simpson is set to be released from prison on October 1st. So you're going to have to, keep track of this recording and remember I said this, because my outrageous prediction is sometime before Thanksgiving, we are going to lock him up because he's going to knock off a liquor store.
he don't have an alcohol problem. OJ looked puzzled when they called him having substance abuse problems. You saw the expression on his face. It's like he had that same expression when he got off murdering Ron Goldman and his wife. But anyway,
hey, the man was found not guilty.
That's right.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, just because the worst prosecutors in the world were working for the state don't mean a thing, but they were bad. They were bad. I don't think that group could convict a group of folks for jaywalking. But my outrageous prediction is a star running back for the Dallas Cowboys will be suspended 4 games.
That's not outrageous.
I know that's not really outrageous because that's going to happen. I mean, the cumulative effects of all the issues he's been going through, my goodness. But anyway, well, Goddess Kelli, this is going to be my outrageous prediction. My outrageous prediction is Kyrie Irving is going nowhere. He will be with the Cleveland Cavaliers next season. That's my outrageous prediction.
I hope you are right on that one because I love me some Kyrie, and I'm used to seeing him in my, red and gold.
All right. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about Miss Venus Williams. I mean, she was very gracious in defeat at Wimbledon, and this is what she said, quote, "It was enough of a fairy tale to come here and play. A win would have been nice, but that means I have to come back, play next year." You go, Venus. I thought you were through, but you're going to continue on. Okay. So anyway, let's hear a poetic performance at the end of the show. And this has been Cheryl Smith with CJ having technical problems and Goddess Kelli and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.
You are my sunshine on a cloudy day. The finest sculptor's hands couldn't capture your essence with the most expensive clay. Simply because your beauty starts internally, and my love ain't going nowhere, I am yours for eternity. I want you to be that Proverbs 31 type of woman who can overcome any obstacle and never be fazed. A lady who understands that charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. I want to give you that agape love that 1 Corinthians speak of, that is patient, kind, and that will never end. I want you to be a strong-minded sister, the Mrs. to my Mr., the Mia to my Remus. A woman who keeps her eyes on the prize and never lets jealousy come between us. You see, my heart was barren like Sarah's womb until love was conceived, and you made me believe that we could coexist and do this. When I think of how much you cared for me and feel that empty space, I first give it honor to God for His amazing grace. You see, I was a lonely man, afraid of rejection, lacking direction, until you came along and, following the tracks of my tears, wrapped me in your arms and showed me love and affection. Je ne te quitterai jamais et je ne t'aimerai toujours. Translation, I will love you forever and leave you never. The Lord revealed you to me in a dream. That's how I know we're meant to be together. I can't wait for that day when you're walking down that aisle, wearing the most elegant dress, the same color as your smile. As we take our bows and look into each other's eyes, my mind fast forwards to waking up to a blessing every time the sun rises. Now there will be some challenges along the way. The devil will try to attack us without warning. We may not even see him coming. But I'd rather have bad times with you than good times with another woman. Before I could blink, he blessed me with you, and that's exceeding abundantly above all that I could ever ask or think. Ever since the day I met you, you filled my world with so much love. I prayed for a soulmate, and he sent me a blessing down from up above. My love, I want you to know that I've missed you since birth. Also that I am a real man who understands a woman's worth. Sweet lady, it is your love that I hunger. And I'm willing to wait forever because what doesn't kill me can only make me stronger. I have been denied the pleasure of your presence, so make yourself seen. And I know your heart can hear me because my pulse is racing. So I'll be waiting for you at the beginning of every morning and at the end of every day. I can't wait for our souls to collide. My beautiful bride, my fictitious fiancé.
Snap, snap.
All right. That is a wrap. And since we can't stop recording, I'm going to say, lady, you're really, really on point today. And any last things? And remember, it's recorded.
Hey, I think we're all fabulous, and that's my final word on that.
Okay, I agree with you. Great show, great show.
We miss your little voice, CJ. We'll get that working out. Okay, ladies, enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, bye, guys.
Oh.